I drive bus. I know that I've said that before on this channel, but when I went full-time, I started doing more than just driving school bus. I started driving bus for a popular theme park in Pennsylvania. If you live in Pennsylvania, or you know anything about Pennsylvania, you probably know what I'm talking about. Now this theme park has very specific rules. The stop that we usually stop that's right next to the entrance is under construction. So they make a stop in the parking lot of one of their other attractions. We get asked a lot if we could just drop off the entrance of that attraction since it's closer to the entrance to the park. But since they are technically two legal entities, we have to follow the drop-off rules given by the park. This is usually not an issue because it's only a 5-minute walk up to the entrance to the park anyway from where we drop off. But that doesn't stop people from asking and trying to get us to drop off there. We have a good amount of buses that are assigned to the different properties by the supervisor that is on that shift. On less busy nights, there's usually only 2 buses on each property. The system that they have created for us means that we have to wait up to 10 minutes at the property once we get guests on board, and then we switch. There's a few things that could change that, like the other bus getting full or you getting full, then you would automatically switch. Now on this particular day, I was at one of the busiest properties. There was a concert in the park, but not only was I on the most popular property to stay at, but it was also one of the most popular nights to be there. And like usual, they understaffed us. So as I'm waiting out by my bus, I get guests on board, so I start my 10-minute time limit. Then I notice these visibly drunk people walking out of said resort to come to my bus. Now usually we're told that if they are visibly drunk, we have the power to reject them. Obviously this works better as a policy than it does in practice, because most of the supervisors don't want us to do that because it creates waves. So I allowed them to get on, upwards of 15 or 16 people. I'm at 4 minutes on my time limit and I notice my bus starts shaking. Now keep in mind, these people have only been on a minute and a half tops. I hop on the bus to see why it's shaking, thinking that nobody would be flipping out about waiting a minute or a minute and a half. But lo and behold, I get on, and they start cheering, like they won, like they bullied me into leaving early. However, unfortunately for them, I just counted seats, and I got right back off the bus. That's when they started booing me. Now I have thick skin, so I don't let a whole lot bother me. So when they did that, I just hopped off, and I just minded my own business. My 10 minutes was up, I switched with the next bus, and we were out of there. Now driving school bus, I have to tell a lot of people to sit down. But driving these resorts is a little bit different because they have their parents there that can also parent while I'm driving, so I usually don't have to say anything to them. However, these people were way different than normal people. I noticed 2 girls hopping up and down in their seat, up and down, up and down, up and down. I told them to sit, and I was told to just drive the bus. I must have threatened to pull the bus over 50 times. We were close enough that I just wanted to persevere and get there and get them off my bus. Now to get to our spot, we have to pass the doorways to this attraction, which is right next to the doorways to the park. We normally get a few questions, which is fine, I don't mind explaining. But I start hearing this woman. She starts whispering at first. Here's fine. Here's fine. Here's fine. It keeps getting louder and louder until she's screaming, "Here's fine! You can drop us off here!" But like I said, I'm not going to be pushed around. I scream back that this is not where we drop off, and we will be dropping off over with the other buses in the parking lot. They started booing me again, but this time one kid on my bus yelled back, "You guys need to shut it so he doesn't crash the bus." And I really appreciated that because it gave me the break that I needed to radio to my supervisor and let her know that I needed her near my bus because I was going to flip out. She of course had a million questions. I told her I would not answer any of them until we got parked over there since I was only a couple feet away. As soon as I pulled in, I have never pulled that emergency brake faster and opened those doors faster than I did that night. I was the first one off. I didn't let anyone get off. I stormed off that bus. I looked at my supervisor and said, "You're going to have to deal with this while I go vent." She tried stopping me and asked me what happened. Of course, I'm not going to sit there and flip out in front of the people that I'm flipping out about. So I told her I would let her know. I started walking over to vent to a coworker, and I heard one of them say, "Haha, we made him leave. We pushed him, we got him to leave." And no, don't be mistaken by that voice. That was a grown-ass adult. I lost it. I went over to my coworker because I knew that I was going to throw them off my bus. I went over and I was not being quiet about it. I was telling this coworker that I've truly trusted at a really raised volume that if I ever saw them outside of work, I would punch all of their faces in. After I calmed down, I walked over to talk to my supervisor while other guests were getting on my bus. That's when we were approached by some people that were on my bus. Every step forward, I was ready for another confrontation. But as soon as they got up to us, they pulled out their phone and they showed the video footage that they recorded on my bus of how I was treated. These were apparently the first people that got on my bus and saw everything. They started filming as soon as they realized I was getting frustrated. That's when my supervisor chased those people down as they were walking into the park. And she made sure to tell them that they're going to have to find another way to get back to their resort, because we would not drive them. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was my first entitled parent situation that I feel like I was really a part of. There's been a couple more since then, and there's also been a couple other that would fit into other subreddits, but I feel like this is good enough for now. So if you want to know more of my stories, just let me know, and I'll try sprinkling these videos out in between my Reddit videos.